Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Northeast. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. So we look at temperatures across the lower 48 here on this Friday morning. We've got a couple things going on. We've still got an unimpeded feed of warm and humid air feeding into the central and northern plains, but across the Great Lakes, the eastern Corn Belt, and parts of the Northeast, we've got a little bit of cooler and less humid air streaming into the region here, and that's going to be the theme as we head through the next 5 to 7 days. Now again, where we've got that feed of warm and unstable air, we've got clusters of thunderstorms ongoing across the northern plains, parts of the upper Midwest this morning. We've also got a couple patchy clusters of storms across parts of the southeast and the mid-Atlantic, meandering around again with very weak shear across the region, very disorganized thunderstorm activity across parts of the mid-Atlantic states, and with much more in the way of organized thunderstorm activity across the northern plains, where we've got the flow of the jet stream coming up and over the top of the ridge out across the west. So as we look at the 3-day severe weather outlook, top right, we've got Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday down here. Again, quiet across the Northeast. We're looking at an enhanced risk across the upper Midwest today, a marginal risk across parts of the Great Lakes and the eastern Corn Belt tomorrow, and then the same thing here as we get into Sunday, a marginal risk across parts of western New York, Pennsylvania, and then into parts of Michigan and Ohio. So you look at total precipitation over the next 7 days, heaviest across the upper Midwest and then across the mid-Atlantic states, but part of that could nudge into the southern portions of the Northeast. We've got patchy areas that could expect to see maybe a half an inch of rainfall. As you head off to the south, the southern border of Pennsylvania maybe getting a little bit closer to an inch here. But then generally speaking across the Northeast, looking at a hodgepodge of a few tenths to maybe a half an inch of rainfall as we head through the next 7 days due to generally scattered shower and storm activity. So we'll take a look at the high-resolution NAM model as we head through the weekend. Again, looking relatively quiet across the Northeast. I'll go ahead and let it play out to the very end, and then we'll step through time watching the severe weather event here across the upper Midwest and the northern plains as we head through the afternoon and evening hours today. Puffy cumulus across the Northeast, maybe an isolated shower as we head through the day today. Heading into Saturday, we'll look for showers and storms across southern portions of the Northeast, southern Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, picking it up some of that. Potentially locally heavy rainfall as we head through the day on Saturday. And then Sunday, we start to see this wave starting to move off across the Atlantic, southern portions of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, maybe picking up some heavy rain and some thunder on Sunday afternoon. But then we'll also look for scattered strong storms across parts of western Pennsylvania and western New York as a frontal boundary starts to move into the region. So looking at the forecast then with the upper level heights, 500 millibar height anomalies as we head into next week, kind of diagnosing the pattern evolution. As we get into the mid part of next week, we're going to see something like this, our big ridge of high pressure across the four corners with the deepening trough across the Great Lakes and the Northeast. This is going to be a cooler pattern, again, cooler, drier air kind of spilling in with this pattern on the backside of each little frontal boundary, not dramatically cooler, but I think drier is maybe the better word to use with that, with much of the heat being forced northward across parts of the west. So our temperature anomaly forecast as we head into the next week, we'll look for warmer conditions to take us on into the weekend and maybe early next week, but as that trough begins to build, we'll look for temperatures to at least reset back to around average levels with some cooler temperatures possible from the central U.S. through the Corn Belt, the Great Lakes, and at least northern portions of the Northeast. Now, the bigger story, again, is going to be the moisture here with a very saturated profile from parts of the southeast into the mid-Atlantic. That's what leads to the potential for some heavier rain kind of along and south of that line. Meanwhile, we've got drier air trying to spill into the Great Lakes, parts of the northern and eastern Corn Belt, stretching into the eastern Corn Belt. And so this is going to kind of shut things down, at least temporarily, as far as more widespread rainfall goes. So generally, as we look at the next 7 days averaged out, especially with this weekend and the potential that maybe we kind of warm back up later next week, we'll look at temperatures to generally be a little bit warmer than average over the week as a whole, but shots of cooler, drier air to be expected across the Northeast as we head through the next 7 days. And then as we talk about precipitation, looking for most areas to be a little bit on the drier side here. Scattered areas picking up a few tenths to maybe a half an inch of rainfall, but you're going to head south toward New Jersey, the southern border of Pennsylvania, and then on south into the mid-Atlantic if you want to pick up anywhere that's going to see any regular shower or storm activity that could lead to wetter than average conditions over the next 7 days. So looking at the European operational model, we'll take this into next week. Again, looking at dry conditions for the most part as we head through the weekend across the Northeast. We'll watch this frontal boundary start to push in from the west as we get to around late Sunday into Monday. Again, maybe that chance for a strong storm across far western Pennsylvania, far western New York, late in the day on Sunday, but then we'll watch this front sweep through during the day on Monday into Monday night. And that is going to be our best chance for some showers and storms across the Northeast. You could see a few light showers on the backside late Tuesday, looking drier as we head into Wednesday, unless, again, you're off to the south here, where we're continuing to see that shower and storm activity pretty much uninterrupted each day as we head into next week. But if we're talking about organized precipitation across much more of the Northeast, it's really Monday into Tuesday as that frontal boundary sweeps through. So side by side, the European on the left, GFS on the right, the ensemble picture here, the probability of picking up a half an inch or more of precipitation over the next 7 days, all the way through Friday, August 21st, where you see the red shading, as again, where you've got the higher 90 to 100% probability. And you can kind of, again, take this from the mid-Atlantic or the southeast into the mid-Atlantic and then maybe far southern portions of the Northeast region. Otherwise, you're looking at 40 to 50% chance of picking up that half inch of rainfall, which fits, again, with what I've been kind of describing. Again, hit or miss, scattered shower and storm activity, especially Monday and Tuesday, with most areas picking up maybe a few tenths to a half an inch of precipitation across the Northeast. Your high temperatures over the next 5 days, 70s and 80s for the day. Today, a little bit warmer than average in most areas, but we start to cool down as we head into the weekend. 70s for many on Sunday afternoon, starting to warm up again as we head into the middle and later part of next week, with a potential return to mid-80s as we head into the end of next week. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday morning.